but there were just so many. It's actually insane. Hi guys, welcome back to a new video of mine. If you don't know me, I'm Emily and I love talking about books. So it's the end of February, so we're gonna do our monthly wrap up, which I've been looking forward to so much this month. I don't know what it was, but I was ready to talk about all the books I've read, which, spoiler alert, there were so many. It's actually crazy. I don't know how I managed to read so many books in such a short month. I really don't know, but you know, the toxic side of my brain was like in the middle of the month, like it was probably like the 16th or something, and I was like reading and I had 17 books read by the 16th, and I was like, you know what, let's try to read 28 books in 28 days in February. And well, that's what I did. So yeah, I read 28 books in February. Anyways, I have quite the log. I did forget to write down some notes on some of the books. Anyways, and I've got exactly 2 physical copies of the books I've read, so it's gonna be so much fun. But anyways, I'm gonna try to make this like really quick, you know, book. So we're not gonna sit here for an hour talking about the 30 books I've read. And yeah, just have a good time, right? And yeah, to sum it up, this month has been so random. Oh my god. I don't know, like, I couldn't even define a genre. Like, nothing. But it's fine. It's okay. So, I started the month off. There's a siren. I hope you can't hear it. But anyways, I started the month off with a memoir. So, you know, just getting right to a completely new genre of mine. I have never read a memoir before in my life. Well, I did listen to it on an audiobook, so that probably played a role in it. But yeah, which it was the memoir by Felton, Beyond the One, and it was really good. Like, I loved all the insights. He talked a lot about like growing up and stuff like that, getting into acting, and then being an actor on Harry Potter and just all that kind of jazz. And it was so much fun to listen about it all, and the way he wrote it, like he really like used Harry Potter but in a really positive way. And like, I don't know, as a Harry Potter fan, I really enjoyed it, and so I really liked that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And also, like, I didn't even know that he had like mental struggles after Harry Potter and stuff like that, and what he was going through afterwards. So it was really interesting to listen to it, and he narrated it himself. So yeah, then I did a week of reading romance books for February, for like, you know, Valentine's Day, and kind of burned myself out of romance books for some reason. I don't know, but the first actual book that I read was Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, which was my first Kennedy Ryan book, and it's a pretty new release, I would say, and I did not like it, like, at all. I don't know why, but I just really did not like it. Something about it, I just didn't click with it, because I don't know, it's also about this like divorced couple, and they're like having a second chance and getting back together, but it just felt so like horny. Like, I don't know, it just, like, there was no deeper connection, and they were literally married. I don't know. So I gave that one 2.5 stars, starting it off very strong. The memoir I gave 5 stars, but I don't know. Anyways, then I listened to Tweet Cute, which was such an adorable audiobook. Oh my god, I loved it. There were 2 narrators, which I feel like was very helpful, and they do a point of view, and it was just so cute. YA, growing up in New York City, and yeah, a lot of fun and very cute, like the name says. And then I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Finally read that one. It was probably my favorite romance that I've read this month because it was a lot of fun. There was a lot happening, a lot of like subplot to the actual plot. I love the college setting and the athletes because like one is a figure skater and the other is a hockey player. So it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, then I read The Do-Over, fitting to Valentine's Day, because it's like about this girl who just repeats her Valentine's Day over and over, and her Valentine's Day sucked. So yeah, but somehow she still found romance through it all, and it was again really cute, fast paced, quick to read. My first Lynn Painter book, which I really want to read better than the movies soon. Yeah, I really enjoyed it and it was great. Then I listened to the audiobook of She Drives Me Crazy, which was again YA romance, really fun. I don't know, something about the chemistry between the two characters, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. Also, they were fake dating and it just felt really weird why they were fake dating and like how it just all played out, and I was like, I don't know, I didn't particularly enjoy it that much. Like it was kind of like boring, if that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah, gave that one 3 stars, but you know, it's fine. Then I read my last romance book of the month, actually, kind of, on like the 5th or something, anyways, which was Things We Never Got Over. I finally read that book. It has been on my TBR for such a long time and I just finally got around to read it, and so yeah, it was fun and stuff like that. And I really love Naomi because like we all know what's it about probably, but she goes to this small town and then she meets Knox, and it's like the small town romance, and I loved also the small town. The only thing I did not like, and which made it a lot harder to read, was the male point of views, which was Knox, and he was just, it was a Grumpy Sunshine book, but it was just so grumpy, and he was so possessive over her and just so, you know, so I did not like that, and so that kind of put a damper to it all. But like the subplot and Naomi I really enjoyed and stuff like that, and so yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars, and I do want to read the second one. We'll see just when, you know. Well, I just, you know, so yeah, after that one I was like, no, I don't want to read another romance right now, which was unexpected. Like, I don't know, but I really wasn't in the mood for it, so I didn't, because I thought if I would, you know, tell myself read romance books because it's February and there's so many new romance book releases, I would have gotten into reading some really soon. So thankfully I did not do that. So yeah, then I read Wishes by V.E. Schwab, my second V.E. Schwab book, and I was a little bit like, not scared, but like skeptical, because I read The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue, and it was fine and I liked it, and it was like really like a memorable, which I really enjoy, but it was just so flowery written, and so like, I don't know, I didn't particularly like the writing style, and also the ending was so meh. And but I really enjoyed Wishes by her, and it was really fun and honestly great. Like Dark Academia, it was perfect, fast-paced, kind of like evil, because it's about these two students who get superpowers and then can do crazy stuff, but instead of using it for the good, they're kind of using it for the bad, and that was kind of fun, like, not gonna lie. And I really want to read the second book in the series. So yeah, that was great. 4.5 stars. Then I read The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell, my first Lisa Jewell book. She has so many thrillers, and I really want to read more of her thrillers soon because I really enjoyed that one already. I was really surprised when I listened to it because I kind of like switched between audiobook and actual book, that it was British. Like, I did not knew that, so that was kind of fun, and a lot of different point of views, and yeah, crazy plot twists. And so yeah, I gave that one 4 stars. And then I read all of the novellas from Ellie Hazelwood this month because I got like Loath to Love, which has all 3 novellas in it from my library. So I read these throughout the month, and yeah, they were not so great. I didn't particularly enjoy it that much, and yeah, I don't think I love novellas that much because I love like the STEM part, and I think I would have enjoyed the storylines a lot more if it wouldn't have been so quick, you know what I mean? But it's fine, it's okay. Then I read I'm Glad My Mom Died because I finally got it like released on my library, so I read it and it was great. 5 stars, an incredible memoir, so memorable. And I didn't watch iCarly or Sam and Cat when I was growing up, but I watched like some clips of it when I was reading, which was kind of fun, and it was really good, and I like I said enjoyed it. It was really well written, and I'm like excited to see what Jeanette McCurdy will publish next, hopefully something. But yeah, it was really good, and it was like really shocking to see what her mom did to her. But yeah, then I would say I read a romance / literal fiction because I read The No Show. Also fitting for Valentine's Day because it also takes place on Valentine's Day, because it's about this man who like stands up all 3 women at the same time, so he's dating all 3 of them. And I was going into it and being like, will I enjoy this? I don't think so, just because of the cheating trope, which I hate. But I really loved it, and well, the first half I didn't, and then it got very juicy, and there was a big plot twist, and you were reading it and you were like guessing what's gonna happen next, and like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And that I really enjoyed, and that was really like fun. But the first half was kind of boring, so do with that what you will. But a big plot twist in a romance book I really appreciate, though I gave it 3.5 stars just because the beginning was so slow. So yeah, but the plot was really good, and yeah, really good. And yeah, then I listened to the audiobook of Mary Jane finally, which is, by the way, such a good audiobook. If you want to listen to it, it's great. It really reminded me of Daisy Jones and the Six. And yeah, it was literal fiction. It was about this 14-year-old girl who's babysitting at this hippie house, I guess. The family, or like the kids she was babysitting versus her family, were so different because her family was so like small-minded kinda, and like had very typical roles of like mom and dad and kid and stuff like that, versus in the other house it was very different. And so it was really fun, like especially like reading it in Mary Jane's point of view and like what she thought, and I laughed out loud so many times, and just thinking about it makes me kind of like laugh because it was so much fun. And yeah, her thoughts were just a lot of fun, and yeah, I love the characters and stuff like that, and it was so sad when the audiobook ended because I loved it. So I gave that one 4.5 stars because it was honestly great. Then I read a thriller. Like I'm just switching between the genres so much this month. It's actually insane. When I was like trying to coordinate how to film this video, I was like thinking, should I put it in like genres or like timeline wise, which I did timeline wise, but I don't know what it would have been better because it's just such a mix. But anyways, I read Final Girls by Riley Sager, which was my third Riley Sager book, and I really want to like read most of his books, maybe all of them, we'll see. But yeah, Final Girls was so much fun and really crazy. Oh my god. It was definitely a lot darker than a lot of other thrillers I have read before, and yeah, really like kind of gruesome, but not really. I don't know how to describe it, but it was definitely like more heavy and murderous, I guess, because it's about these final girls who survive like these attacks where all their friends get murdered and they're like the only surviving victim, and suddenly one final girl dies, and then it's like, what's going on, who's behind this, what's happening, and it's really good. Like, I really enjoyed it, and it was definitely keeping me on my toes, especially late at night when I was reading it. I was like, ooh, getting very spooked, not gonna lie. So yeah, then I listened to the audiobook of Such a Fun Age, which was really interesting. I think it's also just literal fiction, again, about this babysitter who's babysitting for this like really rich, honorable family kind of stuff. But this one, I just didn't click with it. I think I didn't love the characters in the storyline, and it was really interesting. I had higher expectations how it would all turn out, and it was just really crazy, if that makes sense. Like, there wasn't like a lot oh my god moments. It was just really boring. Whoops. So I gave that one 3 stars because I did not care at all, basically. But it was definitely interesting. I don't know what to say about it. I feel so, it was good, but it wasn't. It's just, I don't know, I don't really know. But anyways, then I read Remarkably Bright Creatures, which was so much fun. I got it on a random from my library, and I had a lot of fun reading it. It's basically about an octopus, so if that doesn't tell you how random my month has been, then I don't know what does. I mean, I was reading a thriller, then romance, and then suddenly about an octopus, so you know. But it was so interesting reading from his point of view, and then also from different point of views in this small town where the octopus is living. And the plot is basically about this woman, and she's always the cleaner at the aquarium, and she kind of makes this connection with the octopus, and then there's also like a kind of mystery thing happening, and you're always rooting for the characters, and they are so lovable, the characters, all of them, and it was just really comforting and just nice to read. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, just really nice. And I love the setting in this like Pacific Coast small town in like Seattle, or like close to Seattle, to Washington. It was really cute and kind of sad at the end, not gonna lie. But yeah, then I was really in a thriller mood, so I read A Flicker in the Dark. I've got the physical copy of it by Book of the Month, and yeah, I love this thriller. It was so interesting, keeping me on my toes. There was always something happening, a lot of plot twists in the middle of the book, which I really appreciated, and you were kind of like going through all the suspects who could have done it, and it was really interesting because it's basically about this serial killer who killed like a lot of girls 20 years ago, and you're going from like the daughter's point of view from the serial killer, who's now grown up, and she was 12 years old, and now she's 32 years old, and suddenly new girls are starting to die, I guess, and you're like, why are they dying, you know, what's happening to them? And it just seems also similar to her dad's killings, and she's trying to figure out what happens, and it's really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, a really good thriller, which I love the ending. It was really good. I want to say more about the ending, but I can't, so that's all I'm gonna say. Then I read The Housemaid's Secret, which was a new release by Frida McFadden, and I read The Housemaid last month and really loved it. It was so quick and easy to read, you know, short chapters, like 300 page long, nothing crazy, but still fast paced, and like plot twists in the middle of the book. And so yeah, I read it in one day and it was super interesting and a lot of fun. And yeah, thumbs up again. I didn't enjoy it particularly as much as the first one, but it was still a good second part, and you can read it as standalone. If you just want to read The Housemaid's Secret, you can do that, but I would still suggest reading The Housemaid first if you want to, but it's possible, you know, it is possible. Then I listened to the audiobook of The Girls I've Been, which was a YA mystery thriller kind of thing about the daughter of a con artist who's now living kind of undercover with her sister, but then she's in this bank and the bank is getting robbed, and she and her friends are trying to figure out what's going on, how can we help, how can we stop this robbery from happening. And that was really good and really interesting to listen to, and it was really action-packed, and yeah, just a quick fast-paced YA mystery, I guess. Yeah, and really interesting, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Yeah, then I started reading a series, but let's go through all the singular books I listened to while reading the series so we can get them out of the way. But yeah, then I listened to Not a Happy Family, which was also a thriller. I was really liking the listening to thrillers in audiobook format for some reason, and it was again fun but not as crazy, and there weren't as many plot twists, and the ending was kind of so anticlimactic, and in my head I had like a way better ending to the whole book, which would have been so much cooler in my opinion. And so yeah, I was kind of a bit disappointed by the ending of the book, so I gave it 3 stars. But still, you know, kind of like the parents of the family die, and the 3 grown-up children are like the suspects because now they're getting this huge inheritance, and you're like trying to figure out what happened to the parents. And yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, then the next book that I read was a bit darker again. It was a thriller. It was The Chain, and it was a really interesting thriller about how moms are getting a call by the chain, and they were saying like, yeah, we kidnapped your daughter and you need to kidnap another child so that you can get your daughter back, and then they need to kidnap a daughter, and then it goes on and on and on, basically this chain, and it's been going on for quite a long time. And yeah, you're basically just following this mom who gets a call and needs to save her daughter. It was really, really interesting. Again, a bit darker, especially because like the child, obviously they are going through some trauma once they're kidnapped, but it was interesting and it was a good idea. I feel like the second part of the book I didn't love as much as the first one, but I can't really get into that and why, but it just slowed down, I would say, a bit. But I gave it 3.75 stars. So yeah, a good, interesting thriller. And then the last thriller I've read or listened to was Local Woman Missing, which was about this woman, or women, like plural, women going missing in this town, and you're wondering like what happened to them, what's going on, was it the husbands, or like what happened to them. and it was so good. Like it was crazy. Like I finished it today and I was like, wow, I did not see that coming at all. Like in no way I could have seen that coming. So that was really good. Oh my god. Like I don't know, the ending was really good. Like the leading up to it was interesting and stuff like that, especially because like I said, I listened to it and there were multiple narrators, which was really good. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, anyways, it was really interesting. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I would say. And crazy plot twist. So this is getting a 4, maybe a 4.5. Not quite sure yet, but really good. Like a really good thriller. And the audiobook was also really good because multiple narrators. And then I read probably the best books of the year in February. I love that for me. Anyways, it was a fan fiction about the Marauders, which is basically, it's in the Harry Potter fandom because I read the Harry Potter books in January, and since then I've been in the like Harry Potter TikTok loop, and because my favorite character is Sirius Black, I love him so much. Oh my god. Like when I saw the 3rd movie, I fell in love with him and never stopped. Like I was like, I saw the man and I was like, yes, you are fucking incredible. And I was like probably 10 years old and I have not stopped since. He is the best. He's my favorite. Anyways, so yeah. And yeah. And basically, without saying too much, this fanfiction is about Harry's parents and their friend group, which is also Sirius is kind of part in that friend group, and what happened before Harry Potter, because I can't really say a lot if you haven't read Harry Potter, which you should. But these books were actually better than Harry Potter because I love these characters so much. It's actually insane. I adore them. Like adore them. I have a huge book hangover since I finished the books. Basically there are 3 books. The first one is year 1 to 4, then 5 to 7 is the next one, and then what they are doing after Hogwarts, the end, you know. And yeah, it's called All the Young Dudes and it's really popular. If you've read Harry Potter and like you're in the fandom, you know All the Young Dudes, like the name and stuff like that. So I'm really glad I finally read it. And yeah, for the first 2 books I had the best time ever. I loved every single second, and for the 3rd one I was bawling my eyes out the whole time. I just never stopped. Like the tears were just streaming down my face. Anyways, that was a lot of fun. No, but still great. I loved it and I miss it so much. And the playlist, oh my god. But yeah, I could talk about this all the time and it was just incredible. And there was like a romance in the fanfiction, obviously, and I have never read a better romance in my life. So yeah, anyways, every single romance book I will ever read afterwards will just suck. It's fine, it's okay, it's gonna be fine, you know what? So yeah, after that I was like, no, I have no mental capacity to start a new book. I knew whatever book I would read, I would just give 1 star because just no to any other book. So I read Daisy Jones and the Six, or I'm still reading it, but today is the 28th. I'm gonna finish it today. And yeah, this is the 3rd time I'm reading this book. I'm reading it in preparation for the TV show that's gonna come out in like 4 days. I'm so excited about it. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm just rereading it and annotating it. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm really trying my best to annotate it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But those were all the books I've read in February. I really hoped I could give you like kind of a summary or kind of my opinion about all the books, but there were just so many. It's actually insane. And yeah, I don't know what happened this month, to be honest, but I'm glad I read all these books and I still had a great time. Like, I was in there like, oh my goodness, and you need to read. Like, no, I was in a reading mood, you could say. So yeah, and also audiobooks helped so much this month. So I just need to say this because it was really helpful, not gonna lie. But yeah, anyways, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. And yeah, I'm excited about March. I'm ready to move on. I was ready to move on in the middle of February because I was like, enough. And then I still had like over 10 days. But yeah, I'm excited for March. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope I see you in the next one. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And yeah, thanks for watching. I love you.